Guys? Snow Baskin here with Luca Kassab. Welcome back to Fresh on Clips.
Let's get right into it. Before we start, quick promo. Project U hoodie brought to you by Project U itself, but also Noah Stalbo. Link in description to the website. But let's
We're
get
doing
right into the Clippers here. Since we last spoke, we wanted to take a little bit of a break to give Harden some time. I was hating on him, Noah was for him, but we wanted to let it resonate because it was pretty obvious that we were biased towards one side or the other. So, loss versus Denver, win versus Houston, 2 wins versus the Spurs, loss versus Pelicans, a win versus the Mavs off a back-to-back, loss versus Denver, and then a win versus Sacramento, a loss versus Golden State, and a win versus Golden State.
well, I want to emphasize that loss to Denver. Um, they didn't have their superstars, their all-stars are their best players. And we looked like absolute crap. That was definitely our worst loss of the season, in my opinion. And one of the worst Clipper games I've watched in the past couple of years. There was no effort. We looked confused out there. No hate to Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan, former Clippers who showed out against us. That was the only exciting thing, is that it was two former Clippers. But it was honestly a disgrace to watch, and I was truly embarrassed as a Clipper fan at that moment.
I'd say just to build on that, the Clippers' inconsistency, that's been the thing with Harden. Since
Yeah.
we did that trade, we got rid of Batum and Rocco, who honestly, they were probably our two most stable players
Yeah.
because we didn't know what we were going to get offensively, but we knew defensively they were going to get steals, they were going to get stops, and
And
they
effort.
yeah, effort and ability to run the floor. That's what I think Harden takes away is he makes us play a slower pace game of basketball. He doesn't run in transition, and I will give it to him. He's looked good getting off a rebound, pushing it a little bit, but that's just not his style of play, and it's become obvious with this Clippers team.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I think inconsistency is the perfect word. It's weird because there's flashes of how great we can be, but then that just deteriorates and we look like the Detroit Pistons for a game. So there's a lot of ups and downs. And like you said, Harden slows down the pace a little bit. But even in our most recent game against the Golden State Warriors, where Paul George hit the game winner, um, anyways, James Harden in that third quarter, he was kind of pushing the pace more and he was playing more fast paced. And so that just shows I think if he continues to play like that, James Harden, and not slowing it down, ISO, trying to run ISOs and yeah, like it's been so inconsistent with him. I'm kind of at a loss of words because it's been very frustrating for all Clipper fans. And yeah, do you have any more opinions on that?
Just to go on the inconsistency, I think it's more so it's not really an inconsistency, more so it's playing to the level of competition.
Yeah.
We spoke about the loss versus the Nuggets, the first one. That was with all their guys.
Yeah.
And you know what? We were within 3 points. We would have won that game. We
Yeah.
should have won that game.
Wait, really quick though. I think before, when we heard that Jokic was out, I think I texted you, or maybe it was Zion, another huge Clippers fan. I think I texted you that, oh, I wish Jokic was playing because I think we're gonna play down to our competition, which I'm not being negative. I'm actually been the very positive one here. Um anyways, so I think that I kind of saw coming. I feel like no, like I just feel like you said, we have to play up to our competition. We just assumed that we would get this easy win. Everybody on the Denver Nuggets is in the NBA. There's not going to be an easy win just any night in the NBA.
Yeah, and to build on that, it's the fact is the Clippers have all season played to the level of competition. Look at that game against Sacramento, for example. That's day before we play Golden State, and we ran them out the gym. We
Even
looked
Dallas Mavericks, a couple games before that.
so the Clippers, it's been an evident theme that they look old and
Yeah,
they just don't look great some days, but then other days, even we could say other quarters, some quarters they look phenomenal, and then the rest of the game they look awful. I'm gonna point the biggest game I think I'd point to there is against New Orleans. In the third quarter, we looked great.
yeah,
But every other quarter, we looked awful and we looked like a team that didn't want to win.
yeah. I got the New Orleans Pelicans. That's a sensitive subject, but I completely agree with you. It's just been a it's just been really frustrating. I'm at a loss of words, to be honest. It's just lots of up and downs. I mean, one game we look like we can make it to the Western Conference Finals. The next game, like I said it a couple minutes ago, looks like we're going to lose to the Detroit Pistons.
Big thing on the inconsistencies, and the main reason, in my opinion, is that we went from having a starting lineup of Westbrook, PG, Kawhi, Robert Covington, and Zubas. And I've mentioned that was the best net rating team in the NBA, best net rating 5, to now having a Harden. And we had Russ, but now we have Terrence Mann back in there. But Harden, PG, Y, T Man, and Zoo. And the whole thing is the defense difference between that first lineup and this next one. It's evident because look at the Warriors game. That first Warriors game, even other teams, look at the Nuggets game too.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson, fan favorite, Clippers fan favorite, one of my favorite players I've ever watched play basketball.
Yeah.
He was targeting James Harden. And look, Reggie Jackson's a good basketball player.
Almost had 40 on us.
Exactly. He's a good basketball player, but he's no Steph Curry.
Cannot be dropping 40 points on us ever.
No Jason Tatum. So there's no reason that if Harden is getting attacked defensively and targeted like he did against Golden State, I didn't even mention that one. Curry, whole third and fourth quarter in that game we lost on that Thursday, was getting the switch with Harden, and that was it. He was going at him every time. I don't care how many points James Harden has. If he can't get a stop, he shouldn't be playing. Russell Westbrook, we know what we're going to get out of him. The dude, yes, he may be a little reckless at times, and in the clutch, he scares me. But the guy plays elite defense. The guy works. He hustles.
110% every possession. I've never seen him with his head down, not trying one play.
We don't win that Warriors game on Saturday without Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, most of our wins this year, we wouldn't have gotten without Russell Westbrook.
Touch on Russell Westbrook. The dude, yes, he's taken a lesser role coming off the bench. But what I will say is Tyronn Lue, my good buddy. We got a picture together, so you're my good buddy. But
yeah, okay.
Your seat is scorching hot right now. I understand Russ is probably your third, fourth best guy, depending who you think's better, him or Harden. I make no comment on this, but Russell Westbrook is your third or fourth best guy. And yes, he's coming off the bench. But minimalizing his minutes with Harden is one option, but that's not possible because then you get Russ playing, 16 to 18 minutes a game? That doesn't help us.
Yeah.
The big thing you need to do, good buddy Ty, is you need to make sure that when Russ and Harden are on the court together, Russell Westbrook should be the one with the ball in his hands. Because look at James Harden. The dude's a good shooter, 40% three-point shooter. And while he's not shooting all of his catch and shoots, by having Russ shooting the catch and shoots rather than Harden, it takes away the ability of the other team to just not guard him.
Yeah. Like you just said, I'm just adding on to your point. There's been multiple times. I love Russell Westbrook, but I would rather have James Harden shooting an open three than Russell Westbrook. Plenty of times James Harden takes it up and Russ is wide open for corner three and it's just a brick. And so, like you're saying, if it's Russell Westbrook bringing up the ball, driving it, I think it'll open up the floor even more for James Harden.
Exactly. And Russell Westbrook's game has never been and will never be. This is not a knock on Russell Westbrook. It's just not his game to be a catch and shoot three-point.
Not at all.
Russ needs the ball in his hands. And as much as I know it's not going to happen, Russ should be the one starting. Harden should be coming off the bench because Russ gets better with the crowd noise and he builds off the energy. So having that in the beginning of the game is huge for him.
I agree.
Touch on Ty Lue. We already talked about him a little bit, but Ty Lue has single-handedly lost us at least one of these games. Yeah. Well, yes, he can't coach effort. And I show sympathy there. But throwing out, let's say in the Golden State game, for example, Russell Westbrook at the 1, Bones Highland at the 2. Note, the guy hadn't played in 7 games. Garbage time doesn't count. 7 games he hadn't played, and he gets thrown in. Norman Powell, who got injured the night before, should not have been playing. James Harden at the 4 and Kawhi at the 5.
Yeah.
What coach in their right mind thinks running 4 guards and Kawhi Leonard, who, yes, Kawhi is a great basketball player, physical basketball player. He's not a 5.
Yeah.
That right there by itself lost us that game. Again, effort can't be coached. PG not playing well in that game for his standards, though we had 10 assists and 1 turnover, is you can't coach that. But at the end of the day, your rotations are huge. And I've loved PJ Tucker being taken out of the rotation because he
Let's
adds.
say
But, and I love the fact that Kobe Brown has been getting minutes. Though it's been a little rocky, it shows a different dynamic.
he looked like dog shit last game, but yeah.
But it's the energy aspect. Offensively, he's
And
looked
more effort. Yeah, yeah.
and he also doesn't. It's tough for a rookie like Kobe, who 30th overall pick. It's not going to be a plug and
No, no,
play.
I would rather have him over PJ Tucker, who stands in the corner and airballs threes. So,
Real question: what does PJ Tucker do in the offseason?
I think he goes to SneakerCon.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a knockdown 3-point corner specialist, and I think he's made 2 or 3 for us.
Yeah, two maybe or three. I think, yeah. I mean, he's been getting a lot of cardio in. I know that, so that's good for us to give him some cardio time. But
I actually saw a tweet this morning by Legion Hoops saying that PJ Tucker already leads the NBA in 0-point games.
really, mm, I'm glad we have him on our team.
But back to the point of this.
Yeah,
Kobe Brown, offensively, yes, he's struggling. But look at the summer league. Look at even preseason. He
that's some
can't shoot the ball.
one of those summer league games. I mean, he dropped 38 points, 35 points, something like that.
38 points, 9 3-pointers.
Yeah,
The guy needs just time and he needs patience from time. By no means do I want to see him play more than 10 minutes regularly. No.
yeah,
But I want his energy is huge in playing.
and
When, yeah,
he needs
exactly.
the confidence and he needs the live play in a real NBA game to get
Ty's
that.
done a great job in the first half of playing him 6 to 8 minutes. Second half, just throw him out there for 2 minutes to end the third. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
Let him get the reps, let him get a rhythm, and we'll see what happens because that's been our problem. We have young guys, we don't play them. Look at Brandon Boston. Guy's hurt right now, but he's a stud basketball player. He's shown that when he's played for us.
yeah, he had that 20-point game against Boston a couple years ago.
Exactly. So that guy, another guy, but we're loaded at guards because now we have Harden. So
Yeah,
goodbye to that.
yeah.
Last thing I'd like to say, my thing to touch on at least is Zubas and Theis look great. Zubas double in
I
3 to
know.
5, and
Yeah,
Theis brings a new dynamic to the Clippers in the fact that he can stretch a little bit
yeah.
and his hustle for look
And he's a way better passer.
exactly. He reminds me a lot of Hardenstein, but for a guy who we got off waivers, he's really impressed me, and it's even to the point where you package him and Plumlee together. That's like not him. Plumlee and PJ Tucker together, that's like 15 million. Go get a wing for that.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, Plumlee's not getting minutes when he comes back.
Yeah,
He's just
Ice
way
has
better.
been way too good for us.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just want to yeah, he's been amazing. I don't even know what to say.
Norm Powell's been great too.
Really
PG
good.
PG Kawhi stands do not come after me. I know you exist, especially you, Ozzy. But PG has been the Clippers' best player this year. He's had 3 rocky games
Yeah.
up until this one, up until this most recent one where he hit the game winner.
Yeah.
Do not turn his back on him. The guy already has what we can assume is a confidence problem. Clipper
Yeah.
Nation, please stand with him. He's our best player. He's been our best player. Defensively, he's looked great for us. He's looked
Really
like the
good.
Paul George we've traded for.
Yeah.
So let's stand with him. Kawhi's looked much better, though I do think that eventually he's going to have to load manage with his lack of bounce on his jump shot, lack elevation.
And this is a bit of ways, but I think there's plenty of time for that in March when we have like 7 back-to-backs.
Yeah, and we just had our 5 and 7 days, so that explains partially.
Yeah.
But they've looked better, the Clippers have. I'm still for Westbrook starting, but I will give Harden his flowers when it's due.
And I must say, I know he said this last time, give it more time. I still think we need to give it more time. I'm not as optimistic. I mean, I still am optimistic,
I'm sick of giving it time.
but I just think we still need to give it more time.
All
I
I've
mean,
done is
now
years.
now we've seen flashes of how great we can be. I think we just need to more time in the gym together, build more camaraderie, and I think we have a great chance.
We've got Wednesday against Denver, ESPN game. Friday versus Utah, also ESPN game. Monday versus Portland as our next 3. That should be 2-1 minimum. Hopefully, look,
You know,
Denver, they're never going to be an easy win, Denver. They
Yeah.
have the best player in the NBA. Actually,
And
I would say second best player in the NBA. Jamal Murray will be back at that point, top 10 point guard. And that's being mean to the guy. And their supporting cast has been really good for them. So
yeah,
2-1, I want to compete at least in the Denver game.
I think we could win it. I'm
I think
saying
so
3-0.
too.
But
But
yes, like you're saying, minimum.
minimum compete, look competitive. And let's get right to it. Clippers off this 5 and 7 days done. So we don't have to stress that anymore, but let's get it.
Clippers bring it in. 5 seconds to go. Tie game. Seatbelts are fastened. Lou Williams for the win. Bingo!
Oh my goodness.
God, he got it! 1 second left. Clippers by 2.
The three for the tie. Oh my goodness. I don't